fresh revelations, haven't you, from all those corruption scandals implicating Nicolas Sarkozy?
I haven't personally, but the investigative website Mediapart has. They've got some new revelations about Thierry Gaubert. He's the man who was arrested last week and accused of having taken suitcases full of cash as kickbacks from arms deals to Afghanistan in the 1990s and then made them find their way into the coffers of the election campaign of Edouard Balladur in 1995. Now, President Nicolas Sarkozy insisted last week quite strongly, with lots of announcements from the Élysée, that this case had absolutely nothing to do with him. But Mediapart has discovered this morning that Gaubert paid for Sarkozy and his then wife to have a luxury holiday in Venice at the time, including business class flights and a €3,000 a night suite in Cipriani, 3,000 lira, sorry, at the time, at the Cipriani in Venice. So this looks like this case is getting closer and closer to Sarkozy.
More scandal, more scandal. The other big story around in the papers, or the big story around in the papers, really, is Nicolas Sarkozy and his apparent defeat in the Senate.
Yes, these papers don't make any better reading for Sarkozy himself than that Mediapart story. They've got, on the front, François, we've got a rather downcast-looking president with the headline, "Has he already lost?" Inside, they pose a question which they say has become taboo on the right. Is Nicolas Sarkozy actually the right man to stand as the UMP candidate in 2012, or does he actually have no hope of winning? With all these different corruption allegations swirling around him, of course, that Pakistani case isn't the only one. There's also the suitcases of cash from African presidents and the envelopes of cash from France's richest woman, Liliane Bettencourt. They say his brand is just too contaminated in the paper, and it's time for someone else to come in and become the right-wing presidential candidate. But it may be too late. We're 7 months away from an election. It's a bit too late, they say, for a candidate like, for example, the Prime Minister François Fillon to take over that presidential nomination.
So if Nicolas Sarkozy needs a few friends, who's he turned to his friends? Libération, perhaps not really
They're not
a
really
friend.
his greatest friends, are they? This headline this morning, the right is afraid. They say the same thing, really, that Sarkozy has become so unpopular. He's tried everything to get his ratings back up. He's tried PR gurus telling him how to look more intellectual and presidentiable. He's tried grandstanding on the international stage and the successful intervention in Libya, but they've all been overshadowed by corruption scandals and the economic crisis. And they say it's going to be tough for him to save this election now.
One real friend, though, Le Figaro, a bit more positive.
Yes, Sarkozy here comes across as a much more serious presidential sort of man. Their headline is he's focusing on fighting against the crisis, so they've got him too concerned with serious economic problems to worry about this election.
Now, one story affecting me today, 6-year-old at home, because teachers are going on strike.
Yes, this is the front page of Le Parisien, where the teachers are going on strike. French teachers walking out today. They've got lots of grievances. The paper says that teachers can probably share all over the world. They don't feel sufficiently valued. They say they're not paid highly enough. The profession can't attract graduates despite high youth unemployment, because teachers are blamed for everything, they say. France has one of the highest dropout rates in the Western world, and they say that's just not the teachers' fault. It's the government making austerity measures that cut individual support for pupils in difficulty, and the teachers are underpaid and overworked.
And finally, you put out something a little bit different. This is a feminist campaign which is taking hold in Libération.
Yes, they want to ban the use of the word mademoiselle, miss, to address women. Libération say the organisation Dare to be Feminist says that it's sexist to differentiate whether or not women are married or not in official correspondence, and all women should be referred to as madame, whether or not they're married. They say it's patronising to refer to adult women as mademoiselle, and the practice should be scrapped, so they want it officially banned. So there you go.
Merci, mademoiselle. Better not say that, I'll be in trouble. Elena, thanks very much. That's Elena with her look through the French newspapers there. She'll be back with the international ones a little bit later on here on France 24. Coming up then, we're going to be asking you, if you lived in Japan, would you feel safe eating the food after the Fukushima disaster? We report on why some people there are scared, even though they're being assured that it is safe. That's after the break here on France 24.